Hi everybody, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts and welcome to 2025. You guys, I don't know about you, but boy do I sure hope that 2025 goes a whole lot better than 2024 did. It was a rough year, but I am optimistic for 2025 to be better, brighter, happier, more joyful, spirit-filled, and just things are going to change. I feel it in the air. And with that said, I am going to read you guys a quote that I read on my friend Donna's Facebook page, and I shared it. I thought it was really, really awesome. So here goes. Hello, welcome to Flight 2025. We are prepared to take off into the new year. Please make sure your attitude and blessings are secured and locked in the upright position. All self-destructive devices should be turned off at this time. All negativity, hurt, and discouragement should be put away. Should we lose altitude under pressure during the flight, reach up and pull down a prayer. Prayers will automatically be activated by faith. Once your faith is activated, you can assist other passengers. There will be no baggage allowed on this flight. The captain, God, has cleared us for takeoff. Amen, everybody. I thought that was super cool. I just got such a great feeling from that when I read it on Donna's page, and I have to share it with everyone because it just made me smile. And that is the attitude that I intend to take for 2025. And I'm going to, you know, guys, we can only make our changes ourselves. We can't expect everyone else to do it for us. And, you know, I keep waiting for change to come along, and waiting isn't going to do it for me. Action is. So let's get active in our lives. Let's get active in our goals and our thinking, and remember, each and every one of you, please take care of yourself. Number one, take care of yourself first. We all forget to do that. We're so busy taking care of everyone else that we forget that we're important too. And I believe that so many of us forget that, and we forget ourselves and we lose ourselves in the process. I have lost a huge piece of myself over the years, and I have done that because I have literally spent my entire adult life taking care of other people and making sure everyone else was happy and taken care of, and things were people were smiling, and I was always smiling and jolly and everything. You know what? We're not always smiling and jolly. I try to put off that image at all times, and I still will. I don't believe that because I'm in a bad mood that the person next to me should be in a bad mood too. I will still smile. I will still say hello. I will still have faith that things will get better, and that's just a bad day. That's all it is. It's going to get better the next day. So that's the way I look at life, and I will continue that. However, I am going to start taking better care of myself, and I hope you will too. So anyway, you guys, I got so many. Oh, I want to ask you guys, please, 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 give this video a thumbs up and make a comment in the comment section. I really need that. I really need this channel to start growing, you guys. And I don't know what happened with YouTube over the last month or so, but things have been kind of crazy and weird and different, and I'm not sure why that is, but I'm going to work. You know what? I have to do things. If you want to get ahead, you got to do it yourself. So if you guys will help me, I will get this channel in a growing phase like I've never seen before. So I'm asking you guys, please give it a thumbs up and give it a comment. I greatly appreciate it. And so anyway, as I was starting to say, I got so many wonderful, wonderful packages over the holidays from some of my subscribers who, my goodness, you guys, they've been so generous and giving, and I've got so many new projects that are going to come out of this. Oh my word. My friend Sherry, my friend Cindy, my friend Robin, Diane Giroux, you have always been a great inspiration to me, and a great supporter of me and my channel and everything. All of you have. Kim, Deanna, oh my gosh, there's just so many of you, and right now I should have written all the names down, but right now I can't think of all of them. But you guys have, Becca, you sent me a beautiful, beautiful package. I'm trying to go back in time here. I'm going to sit down at one point and write down the names of all of the people and list them on my videos every time I put out a video. I just need to put that list together to make sure that I am thanking each and every person who has supported my channel and me and my Etsy shop and everything, and make sure you all know I am grateful beyond words. So anyway, with that being said, some of the things that I got, you know, you guys saw the cross that I did in my last video. Let's see. This is a mold for that cross. It is so beautiful, and I've had a couple of you asking, where did I get this? Unfortunately, I did get this in Happy Mail, but I will ask Cindy. I think it was Cindy that sent me this one. Yes, it was. And I'm going to ask Cindy where she purchased this and see if I can get you all a link for this cross mold so that you can make one too, because we are going to do a video where we're going to do one start to finish. Although this is it doesn't look thick, but this is a big mold. It uses a lot of resin. So you may also, if you are people who use two-part resin, that would be better for doing something this size. I currently do not use two-part resin. I have some, but I haven't been using it because in my videos it's easier to use UV resin. I've got this beautiful mold that I got that is all crosses. Now you guys know I did have one of these before. I had been looking and looking and looking for it, and I couldn't find it. After I got this one, I found my other one. However, my other one is a little old, and it was starting to stick to the resin and stuff. So I'm so excited that I have this new one. In fact, I've got 3 crosses getting started on this that I need to finish. I got my butterfly mold from Sherry, and look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I've made some gorgeous, gorgeous butterfly keychains and purse charms with that. I've already made some. Sherry also sent me these awesome, let me grab a couple of them here, these awesome ornament molds. They're so cute. They're not super thick, and this is what comes out of those. Look at that one. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm not done with it. Still working on that one, and we're going to do a video on those. I also got these, which are super exciting. I got these from Sherry, and look at this, you guys. These are a whole bunch of molds, different sizes for cabochons, and those cabochons, look at all of the sizes I've got here. Wow. I have made a couple of these. In fact, you know what? I need to go grab the one that I have in the other room. Hold on. Okay, so these are, I actually made 2 of these. These are the ones that I've made so far. They are quite large, as you can see. These are like statement jewelry pendant type cabochons. They are very, very large, but look at how beautiful. This one's all dried flowers. And this one is, I used a sticker on the inside, or a decal on the inside, and I also used one of my porcelain roses on the inside. You can see it's in the resin. And then I added a couple of things to the outside, a little butterfly and flower and some leaves. So, and then I also used my wonderful huge rhinestone chain on it. So yeah, you guys, those are super duper pretty. And actually today we are going to make another large one. Because I've cut out some pieces, some decals, and this is a piece of cardstock paper that has an image of some beautiful flowers that I wanted to try because this will have a white background, and I wanted to try that. Now these three will have clear backgrounds behind the flowers and the butterfly here, so I'm going to figure out which one I want to use. And honestly, today I think I'm probably going to use this one or this one. But I already cut these out, and look at, wouldn't you know, it comes with, the mold comes with the template to cut out your circles, your ovals. So it's got all of the sizes there, so you're able to just, you know, get your piece of paper or what have you. You can use paper, you can use decals, you can use stickers. I mean, you name it, you can use it. These are the kind of decals that I usually use. This is just one style that I use, and they're just so perfect, and you'll just set that on there, find the spot that you want to cut out, and draw it out, and cut it out, and you're good to go. So now, I didn't do that with the first one that I had because I had a sticker that was already cut out, and I just kind of had to cut around the flowers and stuff, and it was already, you know, a situation where I couldn't really cut it out. So, and you can see these will fit right on the inside of the oval there, and now I've got it stuck. So yeah, so they're gonna be really, really awesome. I'm trying to decide if I want to do, I might actually do two of them. You know what? I've got the, oh, I wanted to show you guys too. This is one that I made in the ornaments. This is an ornament that I made for my granddaughter. I'm going to finish it up, and I'm going to give it to her as a special little gifty gift in a little box that I've made for her. That she can keep forever, sort of an heirloom little ornament, and I'm gonna fancy it up and all that good stuff. But I thought the butterflies would be really pretty. They're just the little wooden butterflies that you can buy, and you can get them on Amazon, or these little butterflies. They're butterfly buttons. See? So they come in all different prints. So that's what these little butterflies are, and I think that came out super duper cute. Let's put this behind it. There we go. Now you can really see it. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. And then this is dried flowers in there as well. So yeah, I'm excited to finish that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to put... Gosh, I really did want to try this one with the white behind it too. So maybe I should choose one of these and this, because I really want to see what this is going to, and I will put it, you know, of course you have to do them upside down like that. And this, I can feel that it needs a couple of little spots cut a little bit better than I cut them. But that's going to be okay because it's just going to lay on top of the resin after I pour it. So, but I really want this one with the little butterfly in it. I thought this would be really pretty with the handwriting behind it, and it says love there. So I really want to try that one. I will be making these as well. Actually, I could make this one with these because I've got that mold on the same piece. I want to stick this in my lamp to make sure this whole thing fits, because before I was kind of sticking it in just one thing at a time. I'm trying to see here. It looks like, you know, my last one, I believe it got stuck to that. So you know what? We're probably only going to make one big one today. I gotta check that and see what happened there, because I do recall there was a blemish on the top, and I believe it's stuck. I don't usually have that problem for quite a while after I get my molds, but that one, it's stuck. So, question is, I think I'm going to go with this one because I really want to do this one, so that's okay, and we'll do this one. So, what I need to do, because my current bottle of resin is almost out. Oh my, oh my, oh my, what did I do with my, what did I do with my box of resin? Oh Lord. Hold on, you guys. Okay, I found my resin bottles. I've got a lot of resin bottles, this size, but I had it underneath another box and I couldn't see it. So I want to start, I'm going to finish using this bottle here that I have, but it's almost done and I know there's not enough in there to do everything I want to do today. So what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do, and that's the other thing, if you guys think about it, get yourself some mold release spray. You spray just a quick dot of a spray inside your molds and it will keep your stuff from sticking. Sometimes though, if you spray too much, it will cause imperfections in your resin. So that is why I usually don't use it, but I feel like it's worth it if you do it, because now I do have this one spot in this mold, and I don't know, it may have been like that when I got it, or it may have been that my last pour stuck. So I do remember having a hard time getting it out of there though, so I think that's what it was. Darn it. And that would be my fault. But thankfully I still have this one that I can use and make something amazing with. So what we're going to do, first things first, is we are going to make sure that our mold is clean, that there's no dust particles or pieces of glitter or anything like that stuck inside the mold. And we're going to, you know what, we're going to open the new bottle, and the reason I'm going to do that is I think that I will be able to keep bubbles out of it a little bit better because the resin is closer to the top. And this is going to be the easy part, you guys, because all I'm going to do is I'm going to very slowly let this resin come out and fill that bubble, because I'm not going to be putting anything else in with this one. It's just going to be, and I wanted to do a simple video, a simple project, so that you guys can see how easy it can be just to make something simple and make it so beautiful. Oh my word, you guys are just not going to believe how easy it is to make something really, really gorgeous just with your resin and your patience. And I'm going to bring this up. I'm not going to fill this whole section, but I am going to bring it up to a point where it stays close to the edges and doesn't pull away from the mold. So, and I'm trying to do this slowly because the slower you can put your resin in there, the fewer bubbles you're going to have. And I can see a few bubbles in there right now, but I'm going to work to get those bubbles out. And you can see this mold takes quite a bit of resin. So just remember that when you're using molds like this, I mean, especially the big size, you're going to use a lot of resin in that one piece. And if you only have your one bottle of resin, my suggestion would be to just make the smaller cabochons until you are able to work your way up to, you know, having more resin at one time. I would not be able to do it if it were not for Sherry's generosity and her buying me. She sent me 2,000 grams of resin, and my friend Gwen sent me 1,000 grams. So I was so super lucky to have two such generous people send me all of that resin so that I can make so many great things. So I have several bottles right now, and I'm gonna be working away at that. So, and you guys know I use it every day, just about. Okay, so I've got it in there, and you guys see I've got my little tray table that Kareth sent me, and this table is so great because it's got the level thing in the middle of it, and the bubble is in the middle, and that's what tells me my table is level. So what I do is, let's move this over here for a minute. I'm going to leave my little mat on the table for now, because I'm going to turn my lights on. This lamp has lights in the top and the bottom. So let me see if I can push the button. You guys can see there's lights in the bottom and lights in the top. So I'm so lucky to have this because I can do this. I almost did it before I filled up the little one. I can do this on both sides at the same time now. I don't have to, like my other lamp, I can only do one side at a time, and then I have to flip it and sort of lay whatever it is I'm working on the bottom, or on the top, flipped with my lamp flipped over, and that's how I get the other side. Now you see how much less resin I had to use in this second cabochon. I'm going to get my torch, take out any bubbles that I see. I'm trying to see if I see. This one actually looks like, and if you guys, I'm sticking my head in there and you see my towel, I do have a towel on my head. So I have to work in a little while. So I just left my towel on and figured, okay, now we're going to do a video. Towel on head. And because I don't like to dry my hair right after I get out of the shower. I like to let my hair sit for a little while. And it tends to come out a bit less frizzy that way. So I've got naturally curly hair, but it's not the pretty kind of curls. It's the frizzy kind of curls. And so, yeah, I have to work to get my hair to look halfway decent. Okay, so we're going to move this back. We're going to place our Let's Resin lamp, and this is the Let's Resin brand, you guys. And again, this came from Sherry. Sherry sent me this lamp. She is generous to a fault, you guys. She is an amazing person, and she has helped me so much to be able to do so many great projects this year. And I'm going to put that on for 5 minutes, you guys. So I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so I made a big, huge mistake. I had pulled this decal off of its original paper, and unfortunately, when I went to put it back on so I could draw out this shape, I put it on the wrong side of the paper, and it stuck. When I went to pull it off, it was stuck to the paper. So it's not going to be clear, which is what I really wanted it to be. So, but it's going to go in there, and it's just going to be white in the background, which is going to be okay too. I mean, that's fine, but that's not what I was looking for in this one. So, unfortunately, I boo-booed, but that's okay. This one is a decal, and it will work as a decal, and it'll be fine. Or actually, I'm not even using them as decals now that I think about it. They're just supposed to peel off of here, and then I'm going to set it down upside down and put it into the resin, and we're not going to peel the plastic off because that's the only way I can get the image to be in the right direction. So anyway, it's all right. I'm okay with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to add, and there's a pretty good amount of space still in there. I'm going to add some resin to the bottom here. We're just going to put it in there just like that. And see, this is the thing with molds like this. I think they want you to put them all together at one time, because I can see that it's pulled away from this part, and this resin is going down, down, down into the bottom of the mold. And if I don't pay attention, I'm going to have bubbles and bad spots in this cabochon. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking underneath. I'm holding this up over my head, and I'm going to add a little bit more resin in here now that I'm thinking about it. And I'm going to allow that resin to go down in there and fill in the reservoir. And I'm trying to see the bubbles down underneath and push them out. I'm just kind of doing this, and I'm pushing any bubbles that are down at the bottom out of the bottom. And I believe it looks like it's all filled in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my butterfly and I'm going to lay that in that resin just like that. And I'm going to sort of push it and push any bubbles that might be in there out. We don't want bubbles to be underneath there, because then we'll have a whole bunch of bubbles showing up everywhere. So I'm just sort of, see, I can see some bubbles are coming up and coming over the edge, and that's what we want. We want them to come out of there. But we have to sort of push them out. Use our torch. And get those bubbles out of there. Don't hold your torch on there for long periods of time, you guys, because you'll destroy your mold. And we're going to add some more resin. Make sure that resin covers over the top. And now we're going to work a little bit more to get any bubbles out of there. We do not want those bubbles. I mean, if they come up onto the back side, it's not that big a deal, you guys. It really isn't, because it's the back side and nobody's going to be looking at the back side. But if we don't get them all out from underneath there, then you're going to have bubbles in your finished product. And while bubbles are a natural occurrence. They will probably occur in a lot of your projects. We want to try and get those out. It's not always easy. And I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to hold it up to the light so that I can look underneath it and see if I can see any bubbles under there. And I, right now, am not seeing any bubbles underneath that. So that's a good thing. And now I'm just going to put the resin, and I'm going to fill this resin into this cabochon up to the top. And around the edge here is your frame. I have not put any resin into that frame yet. So right now I'm just working on the center of this piece. Just the center. Because I want to get that done and right first. And I'm just going around the edge, making sure the resin is sticking to the edges. And it's going to have a clean look to it. And now we're going to take this one and we're going to peel it off of its backing, and you can see that's clear around the flowers. Now I don't want this to stick to my hand, so I'm going to just, as gently as I can, I'm going to try and lay that in there. Oh wait, I didn't put resin in there. Yikes. See, and this is what I did last time with the other one. I had it off the backing and I messed it up. So let's see if I can maybe set this down over here, just like that. I'm going to leave that toothpick touching it. And I'm just pushing this. And I'm pushing a few, I can see a few bubbles coming up from the bottom. And I want them to come out. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take and pick it up, lift it up, get my fingers under there, and try and push the bubbles out. It's not easy because you can't get in at the sides. You can't force them up the sides. And I've now kind of messed this up because I've poured resin. It's okay right now, actually, if I do get resin in the frame. I just like to do that last because we are going to put one more layer of resin over the top of this. And sometimes you can put, you saw I did rhinestone chain as frames on both of the other ones. One of them I put the rhinestone chain into the resin, and the other one I didn't. And I'll kind of try and show you the difference. I'll try and show you the difference, you know, when we get to that point. And I'm just going to go ahead and let some of this seep into the frame portion on this one too. No big deal. It's a little harder on that little one because it's it doesn't have as much space for as much resin, so I have to be careful. But I do want it to be even all the way around. Okay. So that looks okay. Now we're going to take our little image here and as long as there's some resin on this toothpick, it shouldn't stick too bad. It won't stick at all once the resin covers it up, so I don't have to worry about that. So see, the resin is covering up that image really well. It's just seeped right over the top of it. And I'm going to take 2 toothpicks and just push from the middle to the edge, just so that I can make sure or feel confident that there's no bubbles under there that are going to be making a mess. And it looks like it's going to be okay. And then I'll take my torch and we're going to pop it under the light. And we're going to go for 5 minutes, you guys. I'll be right back. Okay, so actually this one is completely covered. I don't need to add, I don't feel any edges sticking up or anything. I don't, maybe just a little bit right there. So I might add one more thin layer of resin onto the back of this one. Yeah, because I can feel a little bit of a lip right there, and I don't want to feel that. It's okay if I feel it on the edges because many times I go back over the back anyway, and I try to dome it a little bit just to make it smooth so that there's no sharp edges. So that looks good there. This one, the whole thing is sticking up still. So I do see there's a bubble right there, and I see that it's not completely cured on the inside either. So I want to look. I'm going to hold this up in the sky here. Look underneath. The little one looks amazing. And the big one, the front looks amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my resin to the back. And I think I know what's happening. I think the resin, rather than being wet, I think it's pulling away from the sticker because these stickers are made so that the decals can pull away easily. So in this case, it's allowing the resin to pull away easily. But the good thing about that is it's not a problem because the only thing I can see, I don't know if you guys can see it, see how it's darker in one section? So here's what I'm going to do to try and alleviate that problem, because I don't want it to be 2 colors on the front side, and I don't want to waste all of that resin. So I'm just going to sort of press here and see if I can get that to soak into the entire sticker backing. And it may take a few minutes, so I may have to leave this sit for a little bit just to make sure that the whole thing looks the same. And it's soaking in and it's moving, but it's moving slowly. So it may take a minute. So I may have to give it a few minutes, you guys, and then come back. I'm just afraid that if I leave it like that, you're going to see the difference when you look at it from the front. Because I'm afraid the front's going to look like that. And then it'll ruin the whole piece. So, and if it all looks this gray color, grayish white, then it'll be all right. But I don't know. It may not soak up the rest of it. It may be stuck well enough in these other areas that it's not going to soak it up. It almost looks like that's kind of what's happening, except over here it feels like it's starting to travel into this section. Doggone, I wish I hadn't done that because I really wanted this one to be clear on the back side. I really, really, really did. It would have been so, so pretty. And I don't have another of that image to have cut out a new one to put in there. What a bummer. So this is the kind of stuff that happens, you guys. And I mean, hopefully the white is going to look fine. I'm going to take a peek at the bottom again real quick here. Wipe this off with my paper towel. I'm going to look at it and I want to see if I can see a color shift. And I've got my lamp up here that will shine a light up. Let's see. I don't see. Oh no, I just dripped resin all down the front of my shirt. Oh my gosh, my new shirt. Ah. Oh, my fault. Darn. Darn, darn, darn. Well, at least I got it on sale, right? Ugh. That makes me so mad. It's not my favorite shirt, though, so that's okay. That was really why I wore it today while I was at home, because it's not a shirt that I wear anywhere else. I thought I really liked it when I bought it, but I don't love it. And I usually don't buy something unless I really love it. But I was too lazy to take it back. Okay, well, it's all right. That's all right. We've got this, you guys. Now I gotta put a little more resin in there to cover that back up where I spilled. I was not thinking about the fact that if I moved my hands in the wrong direction, it was going to spill out. Wow. Okay. It doesn't look like it's going to, that the color shift is showing on the front side, so we're just going to risk it in this case. If I messed it up, I messed it up. I will figure out a way to still use it. So here we go. We're going to put it on for another 5 minutes, you guys. Okay, y'all, let's get this open and get into this and see what happened, good or bad. You know, you guys and me, we all learn from our mistakes as well. So we're going to take out the little one first. Oh, look at that. Just pop right out of there. Oh, it's sticking on one edge. Look at that. See, that's what happens. So get your release. It's okay. It didn't like stick to this or anything. And look at how pretty that one turned out. This one turned out really nice. Let me find my little white piece of paper. We'll just use this one. So that's what that one turned out like. Very, very gorgeous. And you can see it's just a clear frame. I did not put any coloring in there or anything. I just left it clear. I did that for a reason. So let's just get this one out. I'm going to say a little prayer here. If it all comes away from the edges, we're going to be happy about that. And if the face comes out, we will be happy about that even more. Look at that. It came out. Oh, but look, see? It's got one little spot. It's got to be these molds. These molds are not coming off so very easily. So now I have a little bit of rubber that's stuck on there from the mold. but that's okay. We got nothing, no bubbles on the front, but there is a bubble on the inside right there. So what we'll do to hide that, everything else looks really good. I don't see any other bubbles other than that one. And I think you guys can probably see it. It's right there. You can kind of see it. See that? Right there. So I did get a bubble, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. If I only got that one little bubble, I'm happy with it. And the more you use certain molds, because I've not used any like these yet, the more you use them, the more you learn about them, and the better you get with them. And if it all comes down to it, and I have to, I will buy a new set and start fresh. Because I do love these molds. I think they're beautiful. I'm just trying to take my... I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use one of my other razor blades here that are clean and new and fresh. I always keep my little blades close by. So I'm going to try to just get up underneath of that and see it's peeling off. And I'm going to try and do it without peeling the resin back. If I can do that, I will be super duper happy. And honestly, when I put the rhinestones on this one, the rhinestones are going to probably cover up 3/4 of whatever is there. So it's feeling pretty good now. I think I've actually almost got it all off. But here's what I need to do. The next time I use that mold, I have got to put some kind of a release on there to make sure that it doesn't stick the next time. And I'm not going to throw the mold away because it's a good mold and it will still work for making the cabochons. Not only do I have the smaller ones there, but it'll still work to make these. I just have to, you know, take some other precautions to make sure that the resin doesn't stick. Because it'll stick in the same spot. Where it tore that silicone off of there, it'll stick in that same spot every time now. And these molds, that's what happens to them over time as well. This is not because I used a torch to get my bubbles out, guys. So I know some of you are going to be compelled to leave statements about using a torch. It has nothing to do with the torch because the torch never touched that edge. I only torched the middle section. I did not torch the edges of this, so it's not from the torch. You do have to be careful with your torch because it will cause your mold to go bad. I absolutely agree with that, but that is not what caused this to stick. So I'm just saying. So there is that one, and look at how beautiful that is. And we'll go ahead and put this one up here too. So they're both really super gorgeous. Look at that. So let's move on, you guys. Let's go to the next step. I'm excited about these. I think these are going to be very, very awesome. And what we're going to do with this one is we've got all of these beautiful, beautiful charms that were sent to me in Happy Mail. And I love them so much. And somehow the lid to these did, oh, forgot I put a rubber band around it. The lid did, the hinges broke off, so I have to put a rubber band around it. Okay, so we have some hearts. We have butterflies. We could just add another butterfly to this. Just put a little butterfly flying with the big butterfly, and it will cover up that entire spot where we've got that bubble. Or we've got these beautiful hearts. This is very slippery, you guys. And we could put a heart right there as just, you know, something that we add to it. I've got gold butterflies. Put a gold butterfly there. I've got, let's see, I've got bows. This is a bow with a rhinestone. This would be pretty. So we could put that there. Actually, I really, really, really like that bow with the rhinestone. That is nice. There's a heart thing with, I don't want a dollar sign, a heart thing with a filigree piece on the bottom of it, and that would be pretty, and that would add another color. That one's blue. I didn't know I had anything blue in here. There's several things that have the clear rhinestones. That is not. But these are so gorgeous. I just love these, and I'm so lucky to have them because I use these in so many projects. We've got crowns. That one doesn't have a stone in it. We've got these little crowns. But I don't think a crown really fits with this, so we're not going to use a crown. We've got these little heart wreaths, but that is not going to really cover the area well, so we don't want to use that. I've got other bows. There's a little bow. And let's see. I've got these hearts. I have this, which doesn't belong in here, but it's in there. I have one of these little pieces, and that could go on there with maybe a flower, like a, let's see, what do I have? I don't know. No, I don't think I'm going to go with that. I don't think that's what I want to do. I think what I'm going to do, honestly, I really love this bow with the rhinestone piece, and I like it sitting right there at the top. So we're going to add that. Let me look at the butterfly real quick, see if I can get it to sit there for a minute. Actually, the little butterfly looks pretty darn good. And that fits the theme. You know what? I'm going to keep that out, though, just in case. Maybe we'll use it in another spot. Or maybe we'll use that on this one. You know? You never know. Or we could take... I've got these other little hearts that say love. These are kind of cute. That would be pretty on that one. I like that a lot. Okay, so let's get busy, you guys. I'm going to take, and I don't know if it's going to work or not because I have had this sitting for a little while. I've got some B7000 adhesive. It has been sitting for quite some time, unused. So let's see if it's going to come out. Well, let's see. I don't want to leave that there because it's going to tip over and make a terrible disaster. Let me find one of my pliers. I'm going to pull this pin out of here. And it feels like maybe this is no good. So, yeah, this is no good. So, we're going to toss this. I'm just going to toss it in my trash there. And we're going to just do this the other way here. This one, I think I might be able to actually, let's put a drop of resin in here. We only need a little tiny bit, And we're going to take one of our toothpicks, and for this one, I'm just going to pop a dot of resin right there. That's it. One little dot. I'm going to pop that on top. And position it exactly how I want it, and I kind of want it to go a little sideways. I'm going to set it onto my lamp plate, and we're going to let that cook. And then this one, we're going to kind of do the same thing. We need a little bit more resin though, and I'm going to put a decent dollop right there. I'm going to set our butterfly right on top, and I need to try and keep it in place. So what I'll do is, I've got my butterfly there, and I'm going to hold it under the lamp for a few seconds until it at least gets secure and isn't going to slide off of there. There we go. And actually that gets that one started, so you can see it's not falling off. And then this one, oh, you know what? We're not going to put this one on there yet. We are going to leave that off for now. So let me finish curing that. Okay, let's let that finish. Put this lid on here and put our rubber band around this and put that in my special box. I have a special box here for special things. I want to take those out for a minute too. I don't know if I'm going to use them, but I want to have them out just so I don't forget. Okay, and then what I want to do is I've got here, I have some bits and pieces that I'm thinking would be nice to use at the top to hang. So, as sort of our bail, so to speak. And I think I'm going to put these on now. So see that one I'm going to put on there, just like that. Or maybe I'm trying to debate. I think I just want it right there. So we're going to take our little bit of resin that we have here, and we're going to put a dot right there. We're going to turn our light back on, and I need to make sure I've got this in the exact right spot, because once it's on, it's on. So let me just have a look here. The hard part is me holding it in place with my shaky hands. So I'm just putting this on the edge of the lamp, hoping that the light will get it just enough that it will start to stick, and I can adjust it. That looks pretty good. I don't know, that just doesn't feel like it's on there far enough. Maybe we need to use a different one on this. This one would be pretty. Oh yeah, that's even better. Yes. We're going to go with this one instead. So, what we shall do is we'll put a little bit of resin into this area here. So we've got to make sure we get enough on there that it's going to hold this on. And then we'll add some more after we get it sort of secured. So we don't have to have a ton on there right now, but I do want to have enough that it actually grabs. So I think that is good. Let's make sure the loops are both in the right spot, and I'm going to turn the lamp on and just sort of hold that in place. And I'm only putting it on there for a few seconds so that I can have a look on the front, and I like the way that looks, so I'm going to leave it under the lamp now. This one, the butterfly, is in place, and we're going to use this one I'm not sure exactly where I want it to be, so let me, I don't know, kind of like a bigger piece on top. Maybe that's not the best one for this. There's a heart, but this, I'd be losing an awful lot if I used that one. We could use this one. I don't like it. Oh, you guys, I usually don't have any trouble finding one I like. Let's see. What can I do? I've got this round one. That might be a better choice. It's kind of plain, but I kind of like that. It's just a plain look, but I think it works on this one. So I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna take this. Oh, darn it. I touched the one that had it all over it. Ugh. And I'm just gonna add some resin here in a few spots. Hopefully the music that's playing isn't able to be heard. If it is, I will have to turn my sound off on this part of the video. My husband is out front watering the lawn, but he's got his music playing on his phone. Okay, so that's on there. Let me see if it looks straight. That looks straight, and we're going to set it right there. And hold it with my fingers. Okay, hold on, you guys. Yeah, that'll work fine. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, we don't want to get any strikes against us on the channel, so I gotta be careful with that. Yeah, so it should be fine. Okay, and this one is ready. And I mean, we could take and we could put a little bow on top of there. I don't like the black one. I could have used one of these bales as well, which would have been fine as well, but I really wasn't thinking about using a small bale. I wanted to use one of my decorative ones. And those are actually not even bales, if I'm being honest. Those are just decorative earring bases, basically. It's for earrings. Alright, you guys, let's move on to the next step. This is going back in there, and you go there. trying to keep everything in its space, you guys. My craft room is not done. It's not cleaned up or anything, but I'm doing it a little bit at a time and trying to keep what is done the way it is. Okay, so this, I'm trying to think of where I might want that to hang. Or do I want it on there at all? Let's see. I don't know, you guys. I don't think it looks quite right that way. And then I wanted to test this as well. This is just a piece of one of my rhinestone chains, and I thought that might be pretty hanging from the top, like a little swag. Actually, I gotta cut a piece of this off because there's a rhinestone missing, so we gotta cut some of it off. And whoopsies, do the same on the other side so it's even. And actually that's better because I don't want those extra pieces to stick up anyway. Okay, and then we can put this it won't sit still. Sit still. I mean, it'd be pretty up there if I can get it on there. So that's just the main question. Can I get it to stay long enough to get it on there really well? And I'm going to have to do one side at a time, just a few seconds under the lamp, and then do the other side. So I hope you all had a very, very Merry Christmas and that your New Year was wonderful, but not too eventful. I mean, the parties are great, but the drinking and driving, or people out there who are drinking and driving, putting you at risk when you're out driving, is a scary thought for me. So I stay home for New Year's. Unless I was going to a neighbor's house and just walking across the street or something, then I would go. I think we did that last year or the year before. We just walked to our neighbor's house and played cards. And it was the best time ever. We had so much fun. So much fun. Oops, that one did not stick because I didn't leave it under the light long enough. Okay, let's try this again. A little more resin. And a little more lamp time. I was just trying to get a look at it before I put it under the lamp the rest of the time, because I like to check it before it gets too well held on there, and I think that is pretty. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to add some more resin around the edges of this, and that way we know it's not going to just fall off of there. It's going to stay. Just like that. Okay, so Jeff came in the house and he's talking to the dog. So he's got to say his hellos to the puppy, because she's been waiting very patiently for one of us to finish doing whatever it is we're doing. He wins. And we're going to pop that under the lamp. And then this one, I don't think I'm going to put anything at the top unless maybe this bow might. Actually, the bow looks really pretty on this one, right at the top in the middle of that flower. So we're going to go for it. So let's do that, you guys. Let's add some resin here. Again, just a little tiny bit. I'm going to add it to the top and the sides. And honestly, you guys, I just realized something. I wasn't going to do this until I put the rhinestones around it, but that's okay, because these are going to sit better without the rhinestones behind them. And then I can, whoopsies, then I can put them around it, just starting on the edges of these pieces. So that'll be fine. And this one, we're gonna add some more resin. It's hard to do this with just a little toothpick and a tiny bit of resin that I've got here. It's not coming out very well. I'm not getting enough to do much of anything with each dip. So I am going to take my other bottle of resin and I'm just going to let it roll right there. Right there. Put that aside, and let me get my paper towel here, and we're going to get that under the lamp. And I'm going to hold on to it because I don't, if anything dripped down to the underneath side, I don't want it to stick to the plastic plate that's under there. So I want to hold it for a minute first. Until I know it's not sticky, and we're good. Okay, this one, so that's what this one looks like. Doesn't that look pretty? I think it does. And then maybe, what we can do is we can take, let's see. What I want to do is I want to take one of these and I want to hang it from the bottom here. I don't know if I want to use that one or one of these littler ones that are less going on. And I can just pop the pearl right there and let that hang. And I think that really does look very pretty. So all I have to do with this one is pop off the post from the back side of the pearl. And I am going to pop a dot of hot glue right there in the center. I'm going to lay that pearl right on top of that hot glue. Just like that. Make sure it's in the center. We don't want it off to either side. That is beautiful. That is just beautiful, you guys. I can't really show it real well yet because that glue will let go in a second. That's why I was hoping that the B7000 was going to work, because I would have just put that behind there, but it's okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our resin again, and we're going to dot that over each side. Wipe it a little bit with a paper towel so it's not looking messy. Pop on our light and let that cure. And then this one, we've got that done. We kind of want to do the same thing with this one, but I'm wondering, do I want to use this? And I do. So I'm going to use the other. Oh gosh, I had resin on my fingers. Doggone it. That's okay. I'll get that cleaned off of there in a minute. At least it was on the back side. Okay, so this one, I'm going to snip the post off right there. Don't need that jump ring either. Okay, so we've got that earring, and these are some earrings that my friend Robin sent me. You guys know she always sends me my favorite little earrings to use in my projects, and these are absolutely my favorites to use as dangles on my stuff because they always come out so gorgeous. And we're just gonna dot that with resin. Oh, and not let it fall. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull my lamp top over. I've got the bottom still sitting with my other piece, but I want this to start curing real quick before I put it on the plate with the other one. And that way I know it's not going to come apart while I'm trying to move it over. Ah, it did. It wasn't done yet. Ah, darn. I don't know why I didn't glue it on like I did the other one. What was I thinking, you guys? You didn't yell at me. What was I thinking? Okay, so let's get this wiped off. And we're going to pop a dot of hot glue right there. Pop that flower on the back, or on the front, I should say. Hold it on, hold it, hold it, hold it. Oh, that glue may not want to stick now either because I had resin on there. Yeah, it's not wanting to stick. Okay, well, we've just got to do our best to hold on to it and hope that it doesn't turn or twist in any way. And then I can put some on the other side and get it going. See, now it's on there. I mean, not good enough that I want to fling it around or anything, but it's on there good enough that I can hold on to it, put more resin on. And put it under the lamp. There. Okay. Boy, I've got resin stuck all over my hands, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and let those marinate for a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've figured out how much rhinestone and pearl chain I needed to go around each side of this. So I did cut those two pieces off. I just kind of played with it until I got, because it's a little different on each side. So I needed a little more on this side than I did on this side. But That's why I never measure one and then cut the other one exactly the same, because there's times when you need two different sizes. And not that it matters, because it really doesn't. It's fine. But because of the way the other pieces sit, you know, from top to bottom, like this and this, you're going to have a different space on each side. So I'm just taking my resin. Whoopsies, that wasn't pretty. And I am drizzling it down with my toothpick here, right in there. Look, there's a little reservoir right there on the frame of this piece. And I'm going to put the resin in that reservoir on both sides. Now on my other ones, or my other one that I didn't put the rhinestones into the resin, I actually used E6000 to glue my rhinestones on. And it worked really, really well. So if you feel more comfortable, I have no more E6000. So that's why I was going to use that B7000, because I ran out of E6000. Yeah, when when you can't use one thing, you find something else. And I just figured, I know the resin will work. It's just a little, it can get a little messier, but look at how easily that went in. I need to wipe this other little bit of resin off my table though, because I'm going to drop something in it or run this past it, and then I'm going to be mad at myself for letting it fall into it. And then we'll put this one on this side, and we're going to hope that the resin came up high enough that these chains will stick. Okay, so that was how easy that was. Look at that. And I'm just kind of trying to get them looking kind of even here. And that looks pretty darn good. So that's what we've got. Isn't that pretty? And I'm going to lay that onto my plate, and turn my lamp on and get that one going. And then I was debating on whether I wanted to do the same thing on this side, but I think what I'm going to do on this one, where did I put it? You know what? I think I am going to use the same trim. I think I'm going to. I really like the rhinestones and pearls, and I think it'll look really nice on this, especially since we've already got pearls in it. So I'm going to snap this off here. I'm going to leave one extra pearl just in case. And then on this side, let's see what we need over here. And I think we're going to cut that off at this pearl here. I'm thinking this one might even be easier to do just because it's a bigger space. So we're going to quickly, and try not to get these, if you have anything hanging, don't let it get into that resin, because it's going to stick and it will never move. So, and these, of course, these other pearls that are on here, we want those to dangle. So if we get them stuck in that resin, they're not going to dangle. So just be careful when you're working with something like this, that you're thinking of all of the possibilities of things that can go wrong, because once it does go wrong, of course, with the resin, it's not the end of the world, but it can be very detrimental to your piece and really change the outcome of the look of your piece, because you end up having to add other things, and you guys have seen me do it 100 times where I've had to add something else because I messed up, you know, somewhere or another. And we all do it. Nobody's perfect. And anybody who says they are is not telling the truth, because resin is one of those things. I don't care how long you've been doing it, and I've been doing it for years. You can mess it up fast, and you can get on YouTube and you can watch resin video after resin video of people that have been doing it for years. And I do watch several YouTubers that you know, that's how I learned to do resin, and they all mess up. Every single one of them messes up sometimes, and they get frustrated and all that good stuff, but they move on. They either fix the project or they call it a bust, you know, and sometimes your projects are just a bust. And it stinks, but you know what? It's all right. Move on. Either try it again with what you've learned, or move on to the next project and try something different if you feel like it wasn't something that you could accomplish, you know, because sometimes there are just things that I know I give up, and I say, you know what, that is a task I cannot accomplish, so let's move on to something else, so that you know, I can be productive. I don't want to keep messing up and messing up and messing up and then not have anything to put in my Etsy shop or a gift for someone or whatever the thing may be. I want to make sure that I'm doing things right and that I can get things done. Okay, so there's that. And I mean, the bottom line is you can only spend so much time on one project, and then you have to let it go and move on. And we have a little bit of resin on the top here, so I'm just wiping that off right here with my paper towel. And sometimes what you can do is you can, if you find that all of these did not stick, you can drizzle a little bit of resin down in there after the fact. And it's okay to do that. I've done that many, many times where I just drizzle resin, you know, in between the rhinestones. And it doesn't really affect the rhinestones, believe it or not. They'll still look good. They'll still sparkle and everything. It actually ends up protecting them, I think. And it is easier if you lay your rhinestones down into this mold and you lay them upside down right in that reservoir and then pour your resin over it. The resin is going to cover them up on the bottom side and they're going to look perfect every time. So you just saved yourself a bundle of time just by doing that. So there is that one. Isn't it gorgeous, you guys? And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a jump ring on there, and I'm going to use this as a necklace. I could add it to a brooch, maybe add some things around it. I can use it as a purse charm or a mirror hanger. I've got all these choices of things that I can use this on, and I will decide that, you know, at a later time. So, or I can just sell this as a pendant in my shop, and then whoever buys it can buy a chain. Or a lot of times what I will do is I will add my ball chain to the top so that it is sold as, say, a purse charm or a mirror holder or mirror hanger, and then they can change it if they want. Okay, here's the big guy. And so that one turned out absolutely gorgeous as well. Look at that. I mean, these are so pretty, you guys. So fun to make. And really, it really was easy. I know I had to stop and start a few times, but these are new to me. And so I had a few things that I had to change the way I was doing them, but look at how beautiful it is. And it really truly was very easy in the long run. It was very easy. So let me take this one. And since it's got those dangles, I want you guys to see it with the dangles hanging down. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Just gorgeous. And you know, they just... So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to please give it a thumbs up, a like, a share. Share it with your friends and family. I'm hoping that maybe they would like to see some of my videos as well. Maybe learn some new things, tips and tricks, and some new crafting things that maybe they would be interested in. You know, a lot of people are not interested so much in the shabby chic and all that kind of stuff, but they might enjoy working with resin. So, I mean, that's a thing that I have found there are a lot of people that really aren't interested in some of the other stuff that I do, but they do like when I, you know, show them how to do resin projects and stuff. So it's a whole different ball game, a whole different kind of craft, and they can do things that are, you know, like ocean-based, and I do some of that too. I need to do a few other styles in my videos as well, and I think that's another thing that I'm going to try and do this year. I'm going to try and change it up a little bit, but I'm going to keep my old stuff too, because I enjoy what I enjoy, I like what I like, and I will not stop doing that just because someone else is not into it, because the majority of my viewers are into the kinds of things that we're making here. So I've got a lot of people purchasing their resin and getting ready to start doing resin projects in 2025. So I'm hoping those people will come back and we can do some projects together. So get yourself some molds, get yourself some UV resin. I'm using Let's Resin. And this is one of my favorite UV resins. And there's also Just Resin. That works just as well. Maybe a little cheaper most of the time. And then Temu also sells one that's called Hard Glue. And I don't have any of that right now, but I love that as well. It's a little thinner, and it cures maybe a little more crystal clearish. I don't know. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but it works really well, just like these do. And these are not, I haven't had any trouble with any of these yellowing or turning colors or anything like that. They've, all of my resin pieces have stayed really, really well, and the coloring and everything. My images don't fade, none of that. So this is it, you guys. I was thinking I was going to put maybe a couple of leaves on the sides of these at the bottom, like that. That would be pretty. Would be another kind of addition that I could do, or maybe just like on this one, because it is flowers, I could put the leaves like that, and that would be pretty, right? And this one, maybe if I used the silver leaves. You know, just for a little bit of a different look. Maybe have them pointing in a downward direction. That would be pretty. Like that. I think that would be really, really pretty. Or I could even hang a couple of silver leaves off of this so that I've got the silver and gold mixed metals. But anyway, you guys, thanks so much. Please remember to take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful, wonderful new year, a wonderful 2025, but be sure that in doing that you're taking care of yourself first. Stay happy. Don't lose your joy. That's important, you guys. Let's keep our joy. Let's work together. You know what? Let's everybody's friends here. Let's make some new friends. I've got a lot of people here that are good people. If somebody is talking to you or wanting to be your friend or what have you, and you're not sure about them, you can always come to me. And if it's somebody that I know, I can tell you, yeah, they're good, no they're not, you know, I don't know them, whatever. But I do have a lot of very dear friends that I've met here through the channel, and they love crafting, they love answering questions, they love sharing information, and that's what this is all about, you guys. Let's share, let's collaborate, let's, you know, let's all kind of make this a little family and work together. So I want to say God bless each and every one of you. Take care. Be blessed. Be safe. Be well. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.